Hey AP Euro, this is part 2 of the Treaty of Versailles video, and in this one I'm going to talk about geographic changes and then the terms of the treaty. Okay, so again we saw that many of those countries that were participants, the Central Powers, they were not invited, and so they did not have a say in what happened. And so let's look at this geographically. So right at the beginning of the war, the Central Powers of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and later the big ones, the Ottoman Empire, and also who ends up joining them is Bulgaria. Those are the 4 Central Powers, as opposed to 24 other nations who fought on the side of the Allies. But those are the Central Powers, not invited to the Treaty of Versailles. Also, this major allied power, Russia, was not invited to the Treaty of Versailles. Why not? Because of the Communist Revolution in 1917. And so who is at the Treaty of Versailles? You have the big 4, which are France with Clemenceau, and Britain with Lloyd George. And then you also have the USA, and this is where we really become a part of the world in determining international relations. And then also you have Italy. But again, like I said before, Vittorio Orlando, the Prime Minister of Italy, he's sort of on the outs, and Italy doesn't get everything they want out of this treaty. And so they have a lot of resentment at the end of the treaty too. It's mostly Britain and France who get what they want. And their goal, again, is to humiliate and punish Germany. And so let's see geographically how they humiliate and punish Germany and the rest of the Central Powers. So this is the map of Europe after World War I. And so Germany is smaller. And also the Austrian Empire, what happened to it? It got all broken up. Also Russia, or now it's called the USSR because they've had a communist revolution, that's got significantly broken up. And let's just look at it geographically. Let's start with the USSR. The new countries in Europe are now Finland. That becomes its own country. It used to be part of the Russian Empire. You have the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania right here. Lithuania. They become independent nations. And so you do see some positives out of the Treaty of Versailles and the end of World War I, that you have the nationalism of independence of nations like Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. This part, that's actually Germany right here, Germany. And what has happened to Germany? It's been cut in half. Imagine if you're a German who lives right here. In order to get to this part of Germany, you have to cross a border of a new country. And this new country here is called Poland. And Poland, instead of Russia and Germany being on a border with each other, Poland is now a buffer, meaning it's in between the two. The Allies wanted to make Poland strong, and so they gave him this. And this is a port city called Danzig. And Danzig, to give Poland a navy so that they could stand up to aggression if they have to from their big neighbor on the east, Russia or USSR, and their big neighbor on the west side, Germany. Okay, so that's a new nation. Then you've got the Austrian Empire, and that has been absolutely cut up, partitioned, as we've said. Here is Austria. There's Hungary. This is a new state up here called Czechoslovakia. Right there. Right here, you remember this down there is where Bosnia was down here, which was trying to get independent from Austria-Hungary, which is why the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand happened. And Serbia used to be down there. But now you remember the ethnicity of these people, right? These are the Slavs. This becomes the Union of Slavs, or Yugoslavia, which is a nation created after World War I in the Treaty of Versailles. Down here you see Bulgaria. They were on the Central Power side. their nation's borders have gotten smaller. And here, this is Romania, and they fought on the Allied side, and they've gotten a little bigger. There's Greece down there. This is Albania. Over here, this used to be the Ottoman Empire, but now this becomes Turkey. And then there are parts of the Ottoman Empire, let me try to film this, have been also partitioned. You'll read about this. Over here is Armenia, and you'll read about the Armenian genocide. I'm going to show you a video of it. And then down in the Middle East, parts of the Ottoman Empire that get split up. You've got Iraq, and you've got, let's see, I'm just going to sort of do this basically. I not like an actual geographic way, but do these become independent nations? No, these become called the mandates. And mandates, just basically think of these are nations that are controlled by Britain and France. So basically imperialism continues. They take the Ottoman Empire, they cut it up, and they take it for its valuable resources. So, for example, France gets Syria, and they also get Lebanon. And then Britain gets, so that goes to France. So they're getting the spoils of war. And Iraq is under British control. Also, Transjordan, modern-day Jordan. And let's see, Palestine, modern-day Israel. That's all under British control. And so geographically, this is how the victors, the spoils are going to the victors. And France also gets some significant territory. Remember this? She gets her arm back. France gets Alsace-Lorraine back, right there, and then Britain. The one change that happens in Britain, actually, even though they do get more colonies, and remember in Africa, Tanganyika, which was controlled by Germany, Britain gets it, and they can now build a rail line from the Cape to Cairo, from Egypt all the way down to South Africa, because they control the north to south. This nation is born after World War I, and this is Ireland. It becomes independent from Britain. And so British control, while they've gained a lot of territory, like Palestine, Transjordan, Iraq, they've also lost some of their territory, and Ireland becomes an independent nation. And so this is how the geography changes after World War I.